Okay, so nobody's getting the truth from the mainstream media, folks. It's well past time to open your eyes, your ears, and your mind. Do your own research because something isn't right here. And if you can't see that, you are not paying attention, folks.
It's the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order. A world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations.
So let's look at each one of these and see how we can get this down to zero. Probably one of these numbers is going to have to get pretty near to zero. Now that's back from high school algebra, but let's take a look. First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
The important message that we need Australians to get vaccinated as quickly as possible. In line with that, I do encourage all Australians to please go and book your vaccinations as soon as you can if you haven't already done so.
Emma, get away!
When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
Okay, we need to stand up against this tyranny, folks. Stop giving away your freedoms and liberties, because the more you give up, the more these people will take until you have absolutely nothing left. That's their agenda. All right, good evening once again, folks. I've got to thank Jeff Smith for dropping me down. Nice t-shirt today. Got another one over here, guys. But happened to drop in. So there you go. Guru's got new wardrobe. Anyway, how are we? Let's get into it, guys. We've had a bit going on, haven't we? We've had to come home this afternoon and not turn on our air conditioners. Don't use the dishwasher. Don't wash your clothes, because old Blackout Bowen's done a great job of, what he does, which is stuff things up, guys. This renewables is proving to people right now that this is a joke. I think it was 60% of the state had to fall back on coal power today. I think it was 60%. Just unbelievable. These guys want 100% renewables, by 2030 or whatever, or 34, just insane. So they're still pushing at it. We just got to go with it. Looks like Harp's about to hit the East Coast, right? We're going to be pretty wet here, guys, but looks of it for the next couple of days. Let's see what happens. Now, Nicola Charles, the White Rabbit. I think we've got that for the show, but guys, this is what they're going to try and push, all right? They are coming pretty hard. You want to know why? Because we've done well, guys. All right? We've done really, really well. What we need to do is, as we've spoken about, and we got Frank on the show tonight, we just need to go out and serve your councils, guys, all right, and get this stuff done, all right? All your ministers, get onto that 73, all right? If there's any time that you wanted to do something, now is the time, guys, all right? They're shutting down Parliament tomorrow. Stuff's gone on today. They've got a massive 30-item bill or something. They've done a deal with the Greens to push through. All right, so all the skullduggery is still happening there, guys, before they go away on holidays. They've learnt nothing. They're never going to learn anything. And all they're going to do is keep forcing you further and further under tyranny. So we have to, do something about it, guys. All right, where are we? Now, so New Zealand Commission finds mandates mostly justified, the COVID mandates. That was the New Zealand COVID Commission. So I would expect a bit of pushback from our brothers across the ditch there. I really would. So thousands impact as a blackout hits the city again. Here we go, guys. This was in just up in the city this morning. Apparently, it was a power station got flooded from a burst water main. But yeah, this is just showing you, okay, what's coming, guys. We can't afford to have things like that happening with the way they're going with our power. Okay, we have plenty of coal, plenty of resources. You know, they're trying to stop a new gas one going in up the Northern Territory somewhere. You know, our gas guys, all right, but it's getting stopped by ridiculous, land treaty rights. Okay, signs of iron deficiency and how to recognise them. Well, what I'm saying is that should probably read signs of bioweapon/vaccine injuries and how to recognise them. Because there is a heap out there, guys. We are just seeing more and more and more. And hence is the elephant in the room needs to be exposed a bit more, and we are doing that. Now, the Chinese-owned company Landbridge's 99-year lease over Darwin Port under a cloud after a financial audit. It shouldn't be under a cloud under a financial audit. It should be under a cloud that the Chinese actually leased one of our ports, guys, on a 99-year lease. Okay? Just disgusting. Like when they sailed the warship into Sydney Harbour, a couple of years ago. No one said boo. All right? No one. So we got $500 million of social housing, all right? The government struck a deal with the Greens. Well, that probably needs looking into, guys, because whatever that deal is, we can probably guarantee that $500 million will not go into fixing the problem we've got at the moment. It'll be wasted, pilfered, plundered, laundered in some fashion. All right, so this is Sky News has said that climate change is upon us and it's coming faster than we thought. Well, I got news for them. The climate change is upon them, all right, the mainstream media, and we're coming faster than they thought, all right, because we are the news, guys, all right. This you can see, bits and pieces getting pushed out here and there, but as for the real truth, there's none out there on any MSM, guys. So, yeah, multi-day thunderstorm outbreak, flash flooding, hail, and damaging wind. So they're telling us what to look forward to, guys. And no doubt they'll do their best to make it happen. Yeah, globals. Yeah, again, I just had another article in here, but it's on global, the global warming and the Bowen. Just ridiculous. All right, let's get in here. Where's Frank? Come in, Frank. I don't know if Cazz is ready yet. Oh, yeah, you're right, Cazz. All right. How are we going?
Hey, Frank, how are you?
Oh, really well.
Yeah, in the circus, mate. So, yeah. How you going, Frank? I haven't seen you since Tuesday.
No, mate, I'm doing really, really well. Obviously, I spent the day in the Matrix, so, that was a bit of a reality check, parallel universes, but all in all, pretty good, mate.
It's very draining, isn't it, that Matrix?
Is it what?
Franco, we're having a lot of wins with the council. You've got this one here where 3 years ago the Shire Council voted. This is Banana Shire. Shire Council voted for it to be a pro-choice council. Now we hear they've agreed to send a communique to the Minister for Health concerning contaminants in the sea vaccines, as per correspondence from Russell Broadbent and the Headland Council. So that's interesting. Now, this one here is question time with Moira Council.
So Council provides immunisation services in line with the state government guidelines for immunisation practice in local government. So internally, Council Immunisation Services is overseen by a clinical governance committee, which reviews management of cold chain, the workforce register, policies, procedures, and all documentation associated with vaccine administration, continuous improvement, and audits and practice and equipment of venues. So that's all in accordance with clinical governance standards.
Okay, thank you, Mr. CEO. Mr. CEO, can you proceed to read Greg's second question?
Thank you, Chair. The second question is, the excess mortality should be overrepresented by people with zero vaccinations. Check the excess death data in states that had low incidence of COVID at the time. Can you explain the correlation of excess deaths shortly after vaccine rollout?
Okay, Greg, 2 minutes to speak to that question.
Okay, firstly, I'll come back to that, but I'd just like to confirm whether that was a yes or a no to that first question, that you can assure us that the due diligence has been done. So I would like that clearly outlined. To the second question, I didn't provide you with all the information. I provided you with the data. You would need to take a calculator to do the calculations. So there's a couple of key points with those calculations, and I've done them, and I'll provide that if you need it, but I'd expect you would do your due diligence. 7 years in a row, we had a 6.5 people per 1,000 death rate. And starting from May 2021, that increased to an average of 6.9. That equates to over 40,000 excess deaths over a bit over 3 years to today. That's to June 24. Through that period, there was approximately 22,000 PCR tested positive deaths. I won't say COVID deaths because there's some discrepancies with how they were rated. On top of that, through that period, we have had a decrease in the average life expectancy. So all this does is point to correlation of something that has changed and accelerated our death rate for over 3 years after a 7-year period of something very stable. And
I wonder what the elephant
you don't
is,
have to be a rocket scientist to go looking. So this
Exactly.
document supports
He holds
that
him
there may be
to
some
account, though.
issues and grounds to investigate with the previous document that we've tabled from the Port Hedland Shire Council. I can assure you, I'm not sure, there's plenty I don't know, but one thing I can assure you is I know where to dig. So I can tell you and advise you as to where the lies or deceptions are that we haven't been informed of. So,
okay, thanks, Greg.
Well, they're all getting put on notice. This is brilliant. This is absolutely
thank
brilliant.
you. And thank you, Shazza Dolan, for supplying that to me. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is it, isn't it? I mean, it's applying those pressures. And Egan, Laurie McKenna on the Central Coast.
Yep.
I'm coming for you both, mate. If you guys think you're going to lock us out or shut us up, I know where you guys go for a morning swim. Just remember that.
You're going to take some papers down to give them, are you?
Absolutely, brother. Or the big shark will get in there.
Yeah, well, look, there's evidence. We've got a roll on, guys, and the only way to keep that roll on is go and test out your council. All right, that's the only way you're going to know. And we've had 6 come on board now, so the pressure is out there. Okay, the pressure is out there. Okay, they need to react. All right, this is brilliant, guys. We've got to keep going.
That's it. Franco, did you want to introduce this trailer that you've provided us with?
Absolutely. I've been talking it up a bit, and Shane Bell is the gentleman that we interviewed. He's a victim of abuse. I won't go into too much because obviously we're in the process of putting the film together, but I'll just outline a few things. Shane was institutionalized at the age of 5, and he was institutionalized through the entire system up until the age of 22, right? And the just horrific stuff. I mean, it's stuff that we know. It all is linked up to the Royal Commission. All the institutions that Shane resided in are the ones that are notorious that we all know of. And so I've decided that it's time to, I'm sick and tired of hearing about, look, I want to get to the nuts and bolts of it. So I've got a great team. Belinda, as you know, her investigative skills and combined with myself, Kevin's jumped on board to do the film, and we've got a couple of people that are just helping us in the background to keep this thing on an even keel. And I'm going to get to the nuts and bolts of the entire Royal Commission. I'm not going to rely on politicians or anything else or the rest of it. There is a lot of investigative stuff that can be done. Go figure, Dave. I'm a part-time hairdresser. And, I've become, skilled in journalism and bloody, I've become the investigative sleuth that I never thought I was.
Yeah.
I can find the victims of abuse that none of our police are willing to even go and have a talk to. So It is, mate, and it's up to us now, Dave. I'm sick and tired of waiting for something to happen. So
it's like when a current affair or who was it? Someone 60 Minutes found the presumed Osama bin Laden. No one, in the whole intelligence world could find him. But hey, it's who was it? Who was it the day? It's 60 Minutes here, Osama. You think we can sneak over for an interview, son? Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
No one else has come. Yeah, you guys are cool. Yeah.
And it's funny, they can find, all sorts of stuff, but they just can't find anything to do with the Royal Commission. So,
let's have a look at this trailer. Let's have a look at this.
Let's have a look at it.
Bit of a trigger warning here, guys. There is some, just a horrible story.
Down in the dungeons, there's Mary Poppins down there. Do you want to go down there? And there was a bed down there.
So they used to say there's Mary Poppins is down there and the kids would fall for it.
Yeah. It's all offices now. They turned that main place into an office. Don't worry, they've got security guards there because they know they don't want it leaked. Raped every day, assaulted every day, bashed every day, no food. I don't even know how I survived. So this welfare officer wants to talk to you. You're told to go in there, that room, to him, in the lounge room, and then he rapes you. Every time he comes. But this is the welfare officer. The Australian government is supposed to be monitoring these welfare officers and supposed to be monitoring welfare state so-called docs. The question I ask the people is this. Go and have a look at the Royal Commission into Child Abuse. Question you need to ask is why wasn't docs put on the stand and asked the question about those thousands and thousands of children being raped and abused and murdered? Why was that? Is this a breach of United Nations human rights?
Definitely, yeah.
I mean, they must have broken about 1830 articles there. But the interesting thing, no one's interviewed me. Not one police. Funny that. Never.
So you've gone through every single boys' home, you've been in boarding houses, you've been in every institution.
Yep. Not one person has come to me. They know about it. They'd know.
Well, you have all the documentation.
I mean, the file itself is enormous. And there's more. There's much, much more.
Yeah, but when that time you told me that, you used to see quite regularly, young boys being taken over with a sheet over their heads, you know what I mean?
Yeah. They don't want it released to the public.
And they targeted a specific type of child to take out on the way.
Small, like me. The file speaks volumes. This abuse is not like any other abuse.
It's funny with the Royal Commission, we've got so many people that talk about the Royal Commission, we've got so many people that talk about the VIBs and and so on and so on and so on. But no one knows how to tackle the angle or go by the angle of what we need to do, right? But I think we've got ample evidence right now. This is, as far as I'm concerned, this is shut case.
Very, very well done trailer, Frank. And it's good to get that information out. This is the same crew that was with around Glenn Fisher and that sort of stuff. This is in Sydney, guys, as far as I know. Yeah. So it's just horrible, man. This is what went on, it was and we got a 99-year suppression order on the culprits. You know what I mean? Are you kidding? We're down to 27. Hopefully we can click down to 26 soon, but let's see what happens. Okay, but there's 128 out there, guys, or more. Well, all right, the 28 is just the nominal target that we use because we know from the Woods Royal Commission. All right.
It was actually 1,900 cases, Dave. 900 cases. And it's staggering. The reality of it is, though, like I said, the amount of evidence we picked up in such a short period of time is just phenomenal. And like I said, it's it spells itself out. But no one's actually, it's one of those things. You've got to be prepared to go and do a little bit of digging. And and we've done that. So, but the film's going to be great when it's all finished and released properly. It takes a lot of courage. Takes a lot of courage to do all this. So, if Shane, you're listening, we got your back, brother. We got your back.
No, let's get it out there, and we get the documentary out. We'll get it over to America with some Ryan Matter and that to get on it and get it out there, and Brandy and a few others over there, Jeremiah, and people in the same sort of thing that they're doing over there. Brandy and Jeremiah, they're coming on the show soon, guys. I just got to get it organised. Everyone's been busy, but they've got milk carton over there in America, guys. That's it. They're the milk carton, right? They're I talk to them a bit on Spaces and that. I consider them pretty good people and pretty good friends. So we do have the facilities to get this worldwide, Frank, and that's what we need to do, mate. Get the exposure out there, all right, and put this this government of ours, or grubberment as I like to call it, on notice that we know. All right, you turned us into backyard barristers, researchers, and damn fine journalists, and it's your fault. It's not ours. It is your fault. Yeah, did they what?
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. All right, so guess what they did? They just had to rush through 30 pieces of legislation.
Just important legislation on social media to protect our young people. We also have important migration legislation that will also pass the Senate later today. Indeed, the Senate is expected to pass more than 30 pieces of legislation just today.
That's it.
Yeah, by doing a deal with the Greens.
Yeah, but like some of them are these are all of them now. They haven't even been through the proper processes. Here are some, not all of the bills that Malcolm Robbins has written here. Bills the government wants to rush through Parliament in one day with no debate. Some of these have never, ever been seen by the Senate until now. So that's just it's just unbelievable what's going on in the country, really. And then on top of that, what's happened is, because they said it was for the social media was really important that they rushed that through to stop under 16s. But Suicide Prevention Australia has urged politicians to reconsider the social media ban while we acknowledge challenges with online platforms. This bill fails to consider positive aspects of social media in supporting young people's mental health and sense of connection.
Yeah.
Albo needs to get out there amongst the youth and ask them what they want.
Well, apparently we were in the paper. I got a phone call from someone in Melbourne today. We were in the Melbourne paper too, Mel, or you were. I don't know if I was in there, but you were certainly in there down in Melbourne. So anyway, that was on the bullying and the social media topic. So they've come to us again, guys, and funny, isn't it? Like Jesse's anniversary on the 7th of next month, and here they are lighting us up into the pro. It's funny how she works that
because of the under 16.
Because the under 16s, funny how little Jessie works in our lives, guys. It's insane, right around this time, things are coming up
we've got another really disturbing clip by Nicola Charles, and I find this is pre-cog crime.
You got to listen to all of this, guys.
Quiet-ish, still trying to share stuff on social media. But things are extremely weird in Australia right now. So I've been in court defending myself against an accusation by the police for pre-crime, for apparently thinking about murdering someone in their bed as they sleep. It's quite extraordinary that this is where we have arrived in Australia. I asked for the brief of evidence, any evidence to support this claim. There is none, and so the judge has given the police a little bit of extra time, another 3 weeks, to find this evidence of this reported thought crime, which has not occurred. Been far too busy planning a run for the Senate, and then realizing that was reasonably unsupported, well, at least financially, and so not doing that anymore. and also living my life, having recently got married. So I don't know where this is going to go. If you stop hearing from me in December, it's probably gone to a really bad place. But you need to know, if you think it's bad in the UK that people are going to jail because they shared a Facebook post or had an opinion on migration, you need to know those of us who see, those of us who decide publicly to stand up and be counted, we're targets. We're targets for people who know us. We're targets for strangers. And we will see if this perceived, claimed, reported pre-crime stands. I love you, Australia. I've done my best for you for the last 4 years. Keep fighting. This is your fight now. This is your country. This is your fight. I am likely going to be out of that fight. But I hope that I helped wake a number of you up.
I was talking to Michael Griffiths today, and we're gonna be watching this very, very closely, guys, because she is going to need all the backing that she wants, okay, or needs, or whatever. But this is it. This is where they want to go, guys. Thought crime now. Hey, no evidence, just a thought crime. I tell you what, my mum used to say about thought. I stuck a feather in the ground and thought I'd grow a chook. Well, it didn't really work, did it? Or I thought my bum was out of bed, so I got out to push it in. It still doesn't work. Thanks, Mum, for them too. Hey, Craig Vine, very sorry to hear that, buddy. You had told us about that, and our condolences go out to your friends, family, etc., and yourself, obviously, and your family, Craig. But thought crime.
That's complete madness. That's complete madness. Honestly, if anyone's booking a holiday right now or thinking about what they're going to spend for Christmas, like, seriously, you've got to get off your asses, guys. And I'm not talking about the freedom fighters, right? I'm talking about if there's any neutrals listening to this station, this podcast and station, you've got to get up. You've got to fight.
The Minority Report, exactly right. Movie, The Minority Report, exactly right. Yeah,
and this is where it all started. And I think I need to thank Australia versus the Agenda for this one. This is not. Leave it there.
Like, that is just horrific, man. Like, we all had it, like, the more you see this and the more reminders you get, you just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, we know what's going on, but where are these police officers? How good do these guys feel? These guys would have to be in mental turmoil, wouldn't they? Or they're just like, I don't know. Well, the UN ones wouldn't give a crap. But the local cops that were involved in that and were participated in that, you hang your head in shame, guys. That is just ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous. For what? Unarmed civilians, maybe not wearing a mask. One guy that got attacked there was actually wearing his mask. The guy in the
and he had his back turned.
Had his back turned. Like, are you? Anyway,
it's just unreal, isn't it? Look, Kim Williams, who is the director or the CEO of the ABC, has been filed up over this one.
About Joe Rogan, and you've sort of touched on elements of this in the US. He's obviously the world's most popular podcast host. He has 3 billion listeners. He's sort of managed to successfully capture that bro market in America. And his influence is such that in the wake of the US election, the Democrats have said that one of Kamala Harris's mistakes was that she didn't appear on his program. So I'm just wondering, if you had any observations about what's behind the Joe Rogan effect, how you believe he's managed to so successfully capture this huge market, and then for us here in Australia, you know, how would or should the ABC be going about capturing that kind of audience?
Look, I'm not sure that I'm the right person to respond to that question. I am not a consumer or enthusiast about Mr. Rogan and his work.
Shocking.
I am not one of the 3 billion, and I'm unlikely to be 3 billion and one anytime soon. I think people like Mr. Rogan prey on people's vulnerabilities. They prey on fear. They prey on anxiety. They prey on all of the elements that contribute to uncertainty in society, and they entrepreneur fantasy outcomes and conspiracy outcomes as being a normal part of social narrative. I personally find it deeply repulsive, and to think that someone has such remarkable power in the United States is something that I look at in disbelief. I'm also absolutely in dismay that this can be a source of public entertainment when it's really treating the public as plunder for purposes that are really quite malevolent.
Now, just before you comment, remember this is the same ABC that did this.
The Commando's highlight video reel, complete with its anthemic underscore, provided the foundations for the ABC's online news story. But it took a significant detour from reality. Because in the actual helmet cam vision, it's a warning shot. Then Heston's command to shoot. Followed by 6 shots. Revealing an astonishing difference between the source vision and the version of events told by the ABC's Mark Willesee, which starts with 6 rounds of firing. Then, the single warning shot becomes 6.
To me, it appears some of these figures are accurate.
All right, so it's come out that
But Nicola Charles has had a thought.
Yeah.
And hasn't even had the thought.
No, it's funny, isn't it? All right, no, so we'll look, Senator Bragg, he's actually talked about this, and this is actually really important as well because we just started to address it, and I forgot to play it when we had it, but I'll go back to it now.
To get access to these secret documents. Secret documents. The Treasurer has now filed 2 public interest immunity claims and has now been supported by Minister Gallagher here in the Senate on the basis that the government will not show the Australian public the details of these financial arrangements between the signatories of the Accord. So the housing accord is a secret. We are not allowed to know how the arrangements are to work between the Commonwealth Government and the signatories of the Accord, which include BlackRock and Cbus. That is all a secret.
So this is how we do business now. There's no more laws. Right? Secret laws, okay? Secret. So let's have surprise law, okay? Dave parks his boat somewhere, and we've got a new surprise law, and the new law is you're not allowed to park there anymore. But it's a surprise. Just appears out of the blue.
Just more legislation, Dave. Legislation after legislation.
They like bringing it in. They got to keep putting the pressure on us, and and they're going to, guys, right, for a little while. Okay, so we got to keep the pressure back on them. You're in an arm wrestle like you've never been in before, guys. Your muscles are going to get tired. You're going to feel weak. All right, but you just got to take another draw. All right, set up again. All right, and get ready to add pressure. That's how you win the arm wrestle.
That's it. All right, so we've got Joe Rogan, and he's been talking about what happened on Gab, and it's very interesting to listen to his perspective on it.
I also found it fascinating that when there was any sort of a right-wing branch of that stuff, like Gab or any of these, they would immediately be infiltrated by bots as well, like my friends that troll on Blue Sky. But these are Nazis. Like, these are Nazi bots. These are people that would just spew horrible hate, and then Gab would be labeled, oh, this is where the Nazis go. This is a right-wing psychopath social media app.
Yeah, and I think, frankly, you get the same thing if you start out. If you start out overtly political on either side, I think that's what you end up with.
Yes.
And so I just think like that doesn't seem to be an effective route to market. It seems like you have to start from the beginning as a general purpose service, but you need to have some sense of the actual guardrails you're going to have around. And by the way, every social media service, internet service that ever works, there's always some content filters and restrictions, because you can't have child porn, you can't have incitement to violence, you can't have terrorist recruitment.
Right.
And even the First Amendment, there's like a dozen carve-outs that the Supreme Court has ruled on over time that are things like that you can't just like say, right?
All right, we'll leave it there. But it's interesting. Interesting all the same.
And I see the comments about Joe Rogan. Yeah, is Joe Rogan a Kazarian? You say, I don't know. All right, but anyone that's getting info out, whether they're good, bad, or indifferent, guys, we just need to be using it at the moment. Okay. And whether Joe's good, whether he's a good guy or a bad guy, he's put up some big interviews. He's helped wake up a lot of people. If that's part of their plan, that's part of their plan. But he's certainly got a big following and has woken up a lot of the young crowd. So
it's all about the reach, Dave, and they've got a massive reach. How the game's played, well, it doesn't really matter. It's the fact that we are bringing into people's consciousness right now. So, and he does it.
Yeah.
No, it's so true. Look, one of the things that happened overnight is there was a caller on Alex Jones, but this is probably 60 seconds of the best truth that I've heard.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not going to hold back tears for millions of children that will be sacrificed in a global nuclear war for all these 70-plus-year-old madmen that are running the U.S., Russia, China right now. They're all near their deathbed. They're all psychopathic, narcissistic, and they don't seem to mind sacrificing the children of the planet in their last showdown, I guess. I mean, it's our fault for putting these deathbed geriatric psychos and sickos in power, so it's our job to get them out before they kill us.
And it's true. You've got all these 70-year-old men that are basically sitting around designing a war, a third world war, and it's just like, what are you doing?
Yeah, designing our demise, guys. Yeah,
because they're reading our minds right now.
Yeah, well, they are apparently, but I don't think a person like Guru Cazz would have had that thought anyway, Frank. So they're going to have to get that. You're going to have to get Elon's Neuro link and whack it into Nicola, and then they might be able to go back and rewind to the download dream or whatever it may have been, and there they may pick up some evidence. So look out, Nicola. The police might be knocking on the door with a chip.
Yeah.
We'll get your thoughts yet, Nicola. Yeah, unbelievable. God bless you, Nicola. You've done brilliant work over the 4 years, darling. Absolutely brilliant. And sad to see you not going to be out there. I can tell you, very sad. Brilliant work.
Yeah, she's done tremendous.
She has done a great job. Look, this is John Setka, and he is former CFMEU boss. Okay, and what I find really interesting about that is he's reportedly set to launch a PTSD claim against the militant CFMEU. Now, this is the same guy that forced the vaccines on the union members. And remember those protests? And then it came out afterwards, or the rumor is he was paid quite a few million. I think it was about 20, wasn't it? That was the rumor.
I reckon it's a pretty damn truthful rumor.
And look, you won't hear Joe Rogan talk about the Jews, guys. He blamed the Nazis all the time. That's Joe. All right, but we know it. We're aware of it. I don't see where that's a point. Everyone knows that. You never hear Joe speak bad about the Jews. Why? Because if he did, he'd probably be off the air. All right? That's how it works. Now, whether he's doing that consciously or, consciously to protect himself or whatever, I don't know. I don't care. But if he's got 3 billion people out there and they're getting the sort of information he has on his show, guys, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
My friend,
We are
that's
in the art
right.
of war.
Yeah, very good. All right, so look, this is it's Selena Against the Machine. This will just be the last one, and she's just noticed something here about the bullying that's been going on in Parliament, and it's in front of everybody.
Senate proceedings, and in particular this photo here, just invoke some sort of primal reaction in me that just reminds me of being back in high school again. This is some mean girl clique shit, if I've ever seen it. The way that these three women behave is nothing short of bullying. They use leftist tactics to intimidate and bully and deflect from their own incompetence. And that's the thing, whether you agree with Pauline Hanson on a number of issues is irrelevant. What she's asking in relation to Fatima Paymer's eligibility is perfectly legitimate. Section 44 of our Constitution states that dual citizens cannot serve in our Parliament, and that's very understandable given that we want the people in our Parliament to serve Australia. Australia only, Australia first. And instead of just answering questions or producing documents, this child went on an unhinged rant and called Pauline a disgrace to the human race for asking a perfectly legitimate question. Lydia Thorpe then did what Lydia Thorpe always does, the fucking banshee. She started screaming that Pauline's a racist, ripped up her motion, and then walked out of the Parliament like this. Professional, right?
She got banned from Parliament for that. Okay. Now, here's the crazy part about that is that her vote was a deciding vote. I've been told, but isn't it funny that she chucked a tantrum? Now she knows the rules, so she knew that she would have been banned.
And Maureen always goes on about, the racism she faces as a woman of colour sitting in Parliament. Sweetheart, the fact that you're sitting in Parliament is proof enough that there's no systemic racism within our government system. Like, you're a sitting senator. You get paid so much money in taxpayer-funded salary to screech about problems that don't exist. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, whether you like Pauline or not, she's tough. She's got more balls than half the men sitting in that Parliament, I'll tell you that. And, she won't be intimidated. But these women just, mean girls, high school, clique. I feel like Babette was all of us, though, during, watching those proceedings. Like, just childish behaviour. Oh, God, it irks me seeing the women in our Parliament act like this. Like, ladies of Australia, this isn't us. This isn't what we all are. Just, oh my God, have some goddamn class about you.
They've all been doing it for years. The women are just coming on the act, yeah. But it's been a circus. Every Parliament, when you used to get it on the ABC at 2 o'clock in the Arvo or whatever it was, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the Arvo. Parliament's just a clown show. Just a bunch of bullies in there beating each other. Well, they're not even beating each other because they're not that tough. They're just spreading, talking crap at each other. How many years has it been like this? 25, 30, 40?
And the rest. And the rest, Dave.
Yeah, no, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're being taken out by Matt Lawson tonight. He's got a new song. It's actually pretty good, actually. So, Franco, if you want to have some final words, and Dave can close the show.
Yeah. Look, Australia, have you had enough? It's quite simple. It's time that we all get off, pardon the punt, but I'm just going to call it out. We've got to get off our asses and get active. Stop waiting for anyone else to do it. Get down to your parliaments. Get down to your local council. Be proactive. And if we're tired of this shit show that we're actually surrounded by right now, the only way that we're going to bring this down is us. We're the people. So I want to encourage everybody to get in there, get your cease and desist forms, get out to your local members, get out to your local council. Hit us up if you don't know how. We're not going to hold your hand, but we'll definitely show you how. And let's bring it home. Come on, let's just all do this. Yeah.
I just want to reiterate what Frank said. We've I can tell you behind the scenes, guys, all right, we've just ruffled some feathers down here in Wollongong, okay? All right, I'm not going to talk about what, but we have, okay? They do not like their candidates, especially their Labor candidates, being confronted so beautifully and eloquently like this roughhead up here and the roughhead underneath me done on Tuesday, guys. All right. They would have been expecting us in there with F-bombs and carrying on like lunatics. No, guys, eloquently, all right, and politely. And that's what they didn't like. They've got no comeback, guys. They have no comeback. You want to go in there screaming and yelling, all right? They've got a reason to make a phone call, right, and bring down the boys in blue, and you'll be in trouble. You walk in there eloquently, peacefully, like I did. G'day, darling. How you going? We got some stuff to tell you about, and yeah, here we go. All right, it's very easy, guys, but we need to do it. Right, we got 500. You're unreal, Belinda. 537 councils.
Mate, she's a bloody champion.
All right, we got 531 to go Australia-wide, guys. Let's get that countdown on. Come on, who wants to be in on it? There you go. All right, let's get it done. Okay, serving Harvey Bay. Beautiful, guys. Right, this is what we want. All right, let's keep that counter going. All right, let's go and work at it, guys. All right. I sent an email off to our Lord Mayor today, telling her that I was not happy about them not passing a motion on Monday night at the council for our girl that spoke, Sharon Cousins. They knocked it back on the motion, we found out, Frank. So, yeah, that was dead in the water, that speech, mate. So mine's gone in this morning at 9 o'clock. And my submission, and we'll just see what happens here. But
you know what? And she spoke so bloody well, man. It was unbelievable.
Well, we've got the full tape. There was someone in there. I don't know whether the council taped it for us and sent it out on the internet or what happened, Frank. But I can assure you, I didn't do it. But yeah, there is the whole speech of Sharon Cousins is out there, and I'll get it up on the Twitter for you after the show, guys. All right, and yeah, have a listen to it. But yeah, the whole recording, she done so beautifully, guys, and they just knocked it back. Okay, so then you just put in the application for the next speaker and you just all turn up again, guys, because that's what's going to do it. All right? Paul Macquarie's been served and followed up. We're attending the next meeting. Brilliant. Thanks, Lindell. Unreal. Let's go. Who's council's up next? Exactly, Craig. Let's get it done, guys. All right. Good night, Australia. Thank you.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
They don't care about us, not me and not you.